you once again for tuning to the Macedonian program, which is broadcast at this time every Sundays. Today I would like to read from an article written by Mr. Marcus Templar, who visited Melbourne almost a year ago and gave a series of talks about Macedonian history. The title of the article is Ancient Macedonia and Its People, and this article can be downloaded by the website historyofmacedonia.com. Often the subject of what constitutes the geographic and historic Macedonia appears in publications and websites. Depending on the degree of one's knowledge of the subject, the two may or may not become interchangeable. To elevate the confusion, historians and archaeologists, when writing about the history of Macedonia, often use the term Macedonian homeland. Macedonian homeland, historic Macedonia, and geographic Macedonia must never be confused nor used interchangeably. Macedonian homeland. The demarcation of the boundaries of the Macedonian homeland is very difficult to determine. Ancient sources are imprecise because most of them were Athenians, and they did not know or appreciate the Macedonians living in an area that was far from Athens. Herodotus describes the south borders of Macedonia as being the river Inyos between Olympus and the Ossa Mountains, coming to an agreement with the geographer Strabo. He also acknowledged Macedonia as the area around the west foothills of Olympus and the Pieria Mountains, following the river Aliakon to its southwest springs, and then going up northwest on the Pindus mountain range. Both Herodotus and Thucydides considered the river Strymon in Greece as the eastern borders of ancient Macedonia. The Epirotan tribe of Orestes of Upper Macedonia, in the area of modern-day Koche, which is in Albania, constituted the western borders of ancient Macedonia. Thucydides again maintained that the northern borders of Macedonia laid the flow of the river Edigon, which is in present-day Rika in the Fyrom, and also Mount Orbelos, which is in modern-day Bulgaria. The borders, dear friends, got more confusing as time passed, as the ancient Macedonians occupied and annexed more territories, almost exclusively over present-day Bulgaria, and even reaching the Danube River. Modern scholars on historical Macedonia accept that its northern borders follow the line Akadno-Gunno, which is in present-day Krushevo and the Prilep areas, following the flow of Krupna Reka to Gavadachi south of Demi-Kapicha Pass to Strumica, and from there to Sandasky, Bulgaria, and ensuing the flow of the river Strymon to the Aegean Sea. Internally, the Macedonian homeland was divided into Upper Macedonia and Lower Macedonia. Upper Macedonia included all the areas of the present-day Grevena, Kozani, Kastoria, Pella, and Florina prefectures in Greece, the Kochi area of Albania, and the territories between Bitola and the mountain Bagadno-Gumno. The Macedonian areas on the north side of the present-day borders between Greece and the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia on the one hand, and Kucha Reka on the other, were considered as Macedonian Paeonia, spelled Paeonia. Lower Macedonia included the rest of the country with the Axios and Strymon valleys and the Chalkidiki Peninsula. The coastline was quite different, with the sea touching the second capital city of Pella. That natural bay developed gradually to a lagoon, then a swamp, and today has become arable land. The borders of Macedonia are another matter. Using the borders of the Macedonian homeland as a basis, they expanded or contracted over the years from the conquest of the Hellenic states to the expansion of the area of present-day Bulgaria to the Middle East, present-day Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, partially India, and definitely the modern nation-states of Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. The Bactrian Greek kingdom that was captured by Alexander the Great in 327 BC and lasted until 150 BC was a result of that expansion. On the African continent, the Macedonian Empire extended to present-day Libya and Tunisia. Upon the demise of the empire, historic Macedonia ceased to exist because from that point on, Macedonia, as well as the rest of Greece, was part of the Roman Empire. While the Forum scholarship extends the northern borders of historic Macedonia to coincide with the present northern borders of their country, the correctness of this assertion is disputable. When one wants to consider territories solely inhabited by ancient Macedonians, one cannot consider as part of the Macedonian homeland peoples other than Macedonians, as is the case of Paeonia. Most of the present territory of the Forum was Paeonian, with the area of Skopje and Tetovo in Dardanian hands. As mentioned above, the Macedonian homeland and the historic Macedonia are not interchangeable. Having established the difference between geographic Macedonia, historic Macedonia, and the Macedonian homeland, the remaining point to consider is the status of the Paeonians. Although the name Paeonia reminds us of the Attican demos of Paeonia, the ethnic nature of the Paeonians is still a mystery among authoritative historians. However, it is certain that they were not a Macedonian tribe. Not one respected historian will dispute this fact. Simply, we do not have any primary sources of the ancient world to offer us convincing evidence pointing to the ethnic nature of ancient Macedonia's northern neighbours, the Paeonians. It makes no sense, dear friends, to include the area of the Forum into Macedonian homeland, since the Macedonians lived in the Macedonian homeland, not in Paeonia. If one wants to include non-Macedonian people with Macedonian territories, one should include the Greek states of the south, since Macedonians were of the Greek tribes. To incorporate into Macedonia non-Macedonian peoples, i.e. Paeonians, and exclude the Greek states, one must question why not include the Thracians to the east and northeast of ancient Macedonia. Philip V conquered the pure Paeonian areas located north of the present-day Greek borders in 217 BC. He never conquered the Dardanian Illyrian town of Skopje, present-day Skopje. We shall continue, dear friends, with this article in subsequent programs, as it is far too long, and there is no way that I can properly read it in 10 minutes' time. Once again, I hope that you all have a great week, a week filled with strength and courage. Μέχρι την άλλη εβδομάδα, φίλε Βαγγέλη, να είστε καλά και πάλι θα τα πούμε στην επόμενη εκπομπή.
Και εσύ, φίλε μου Κώστα,